Hello and welcome back, beautifuls, to our fifth episode in the Phoenix Priestess podcast in the MMM Sanctuary. Today, we have the honor of inviting my beautiful eldest firstborn daughter, Julia. So, a little parentheses. She was helping me to test my microphone a couple of weeks back. And so we did a little recording. And after the recording, I don't know if she said she wanted to, but something clicked inside of me. And I said, I have to share with you all that my first real Phoenix teacher was, is, and will always be Julia. So, Julia, thank you so much for being on today. Let me share. Um, Let me share with everybody a little bit about my Phoenix journey with you, Juju. Is that okay?
Thank you for having me, Mama.
Of course. Thank you. It was just so exciting though when we recorded. We're like, we have to do it. So, this is side note, this is going to be a quickie one. And the next podcast, we're going to have Julia and my dear soul sister, Tisha's daughter, Mandy, because they are change makers. They are both beautiful change makers that have so many beautiful sacred gifts that want to be shared on this beautiful earth. So we just all thought, and they just all wanted, why not have a space to share more? So the reality is that Julia was my reminder to put down control, to put down my layers of disconnection within myself. She was my greatest teacher, reminding me every single moment that she would look at me with her shiny eyes ever since she was born. And I can speak from when she was in my belly before then, but when she was born, there was this way in which her passionate fire, she's a sun in Leo, would literally trigger my whole being, and it would trigger it, and my body would literally recoil from her amazing rays. And it had nothing to do with her, but she, being the firstborn and the change maker and saying, hell yeah, I'm going to come into this family, and hell yeah, I'm going to say yes to my mom, and my mom said yes to me, so she's going to have to figure it out. She reminded me that I needed to come back to life. So, one of the greatest things that she has always taught me is to reignite my passions, to be in relationship with what I want to be doing, when I want to be doing it, and how I want to be doing it. And I remember when she was little, she would just always be on fire. She'd have to be creating in like a little butterfly energy, because she'd be buzzing from one, not buzzing, but she'd be going from one little beautiful creation to the next, and always a leader of wanting to redirect and create her energy where she felt passionate about. And so imagine a mom who's feeling disconnected, and she's not feeling, that's me, she's not feeling her own inner fires, she's going to feel triggered. So thank you for triggering me, Julia. Thank you for saying yes. Um, there's so much that I could share more, but basically she was she was and is that beautiful mirror that not so much in this era, because I I have chosen to continue to beat my head up against the wall, not in a not like in a martyr sense, but like just recognizing when I mess up as a human being, as a mother, and just recognize that that is my own dot dot dot, not her dot dot dot. So thank you for being that beautiful, passionate leader, that wants to speak her mind and her heart. I was actually looking at your numerology, Juju, and we were talking about this the other day. And I was like, oh man. I was like, she has, her life path number is a 21, which equals a 3. But this, like the joy and abundance from Jupiter, number 3, is just contagious. When you're around her, everybody is lit on fire, everybody is activated. She's also very much in tune with her emotions, and her emotions in relationship to other people. So she's very sensitive, she's very deep. Her public persona is a number 11, which breaks down to number two in
Mm.
numerology. And number 11, Juju, I never told you this,
Mhm.
but I was looking up her
Yeah,
chart,
yeah.
everybody. So, Juju, number 11 is a master number. Not a lot of people, of course, are like Jew with a number 11. But basically, the number 11 is very intuitive. It's very psychic. It is a leader number. So it's here to show others. But it's also a very spiritual, it's also a very spiritual number and being that is here to actually create and share and lead others in going through these inner like challenges or inner growths in order to create something that is positive from the challenge.
Mhm.
So, Juju, you were
Mhm.
mentioning to me last week when I think when we were recording, and you shared, hold on, you shared the phrase prioritizing your passions. And that for
Yeah.
sure, you didn't even know that, but that for sure is something that you literally woke up back inside of me. So, can you speak to how you're living, prioritizing your passions now, and what that looks like as a beautiful 16-year-old in your day to day life or in your school, or how you think that relates to why you're here or or what, yeah, or what you feel passionate about to not put that pressure. Why are you here, Julia?
Why am I here?
But
Good
you can
question,
share with
Mom.
us, share with us.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've always been a very passionate person, and I've always had a bunch of things that I've loved doing since I was little. So I feel like it comes very naturally to me to make stuff and to make new projects. So it's like it's not very hard. Like I don't have to go out and think about what to make. It just comes to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but I think having things that you're passionate is one of the most important things in life, just personally too, because I mean, you can have a job, you could have a family, but if you have nothing like fueling you internally, like things you love to create or things you love to make, then I mean, life's gonna get boring pretty quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that's kind of cliche, but I think it's really important once we find
Mhm.
out what we like and what we love to do to
Mhm.
really follow through with ourselves physically and like even emotionally too,
Mhm.
to make sure we're getting our stuff done.
Your needs met, girl.
Yeah.
You know how to meet your needs. You're so right. And she is. She has always been just like a well of creativity.
hmm
And when you said that, it just took me back to the infinite amount of times, Gigi, where we would be doing something. Beautiful women, beautiful mothers who are hearing this, listen to this. We would be doing anything. And literally, it was like seeing the light bulb inside of her, Sun and Leo, number three, like seeing that light, that fire element, like it'd go, and I would be like, oh shit. My innate thing was, oh shit, because I was not prepared emotionally and physically and
Yeah.
spiritually to hold that fire for her and be like, okay, it's okay for you to do that at 7 p.m., at 6 p.m., because she always, literally, she always got inspired whenever we were doing anything, she would literally get inspired with something new to do.
Yeah. When we were getting ready to leave the house, I would always want to open a new project.
Yeah.
When we were getting ready for bed, you know.
Yeah. So I want to share with the beautiful muses who are hearing this. Juju for sure is a muse, and she's saying how important is to be a muse and to be like, okay, life can get, you can do your work and your other things, but you better be a muse because that is like
hmm
where the glory is. Um, but there was a moment. So my children went to a public school Montessori, and there was a moment many, many, many years ago when I felt internally ready to um, take them out and to really just honor my wish to unschool them. And so for about 2 to 3 years, maybe, Juju had that spaciousness again to literally wake up when she wanted to, literally create when she wanted to, how she wanted to. And I
Hmm.
realized that that's what I was yearning to for myself to like reconnect with my own inner schedules, my own inner desires, my own inner passions. But there also came a point where she also said like, hey, I'm interested in now going to this online school. And so I checked in with her and made sure that, she would understand that any system that you're signing up to, um, you were also like checking the boxes of how they're wanting you to create things. So, my question
Uh-huh.
to you is, after journeying so many different ways of like how to create your passion projects or how to live them out, how does that feel for you in your body now, having done it so many different ways? And like you literally landed a beautiful job with my eldest sister. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful eldest sister,
Yeah,
Anna.
thank you so much, Diana.
She literally, in her mind, she was telling me after the fact, she's like, I wanted to create this. You share us a story. So I just want to,
Uh-huh.
how do you feel right now and how you're creating? How does it feel in your body? Like, are you, and within the system of, the school that you're choosing right now and your home, like being at home schooled still in a way, I know.
Uh-huh, yeah, in a way.
Yeah. And in like your great, like in just you in relationship with the greater community.
Do you mean like currently or how it's been over the past, I think, 3 years that I've been part of the school?
I mean, like all of it, like
Hmm.
because before, you were born like this little fireball of energy, and I literally had to like compartmentalize it and like package it up. Like you can do it here between this time frame, like I managed
Yeah.
it. So that's what I'm saying. You taught me so much about like letting go of control and letting go of me managing you and just
Hmm.
trusting that you would, and you have. It's been amazing seeing you every time you've said yes to something in your life. You've known how to do it, you've known when to do it, like you've known how to follow like the crumbs that will support you in following through with what you wanted to create
Hmm.
within all the different systems. So I'm just wondering how it's felt for you because it's a unique scenario in that you've literally experienced a lot of ways to create as a teenager. Hmm.
Yeah,
Like how
I
does
understand
okay.
a little bit. Wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Like how is it feeling
Oh,
overall, like in all of the different structure
overall,
systems that you created?
uh, um, well, currently, I think I kind of create things in three different sections of my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
My school, which is obviously more like an assigned structured
Mm-hmm.
creation. My school, for context, my school is project based, but when I joined, the project options you could choose were either like one or two, and not like all the time. Sometimes you would get a project you didn't like, and it's like sometimes that can really suck because you're spending 6 weeks creating a project you're not passionate about. And so
Mm-hmm.
I also really tried to how would I say that? Like I tried to change that in a way so that we could more freedom over the project types we make.
Mm-hmm.
And now for the most part, you can kind of choose to make whatever project you want for your classes. So I do think that they changed that up a bit, which is good. So that's like the first section I've created. And obviously those are more like from an academic standpoint, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a little less creative, I would say. I mean, like they're still creative, but it's not like 100%, like stereotypical art when you think of it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my second, my second thing that I create is for my work. For example, like you just mentioned, I'm doing an animation job currently, and I've also been doing some graphic design job a couple months ago. So, although a lot of the freedom of creating is up to me, I'd say more than my school. Um, I'm obviously still working with a client, so it's a little bit more structured as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the third section of creativity in my life currently is just like my personal projects.
Mm-hmm.
which is like just drawing, painting, making collages, making videos for myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's when I get to be most creative because there's like nothing really telling me what to do, and like telling me specifically what to create, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
I love that. That takes me to like Juju's moon and rising is in Pisces. So that freedom to just like explore and like
mhm,
use your intuition and where you wanna, what you wanna create. And
mhm.
what passion project do you have personally that you'd love to be working on?
Um, well, I mean, I can tell you kind of what I'm working on right now. Right now, I have mostly just been journaling, which I consider a passion project because it's very good for your emotional and mental health. And I also love writing, but personal. Like I don't like creative writing very much, but I love writing for myself.
Mm.
Um, Privately, I'm also really into making collages right now.
Oh yeah.
That's been really fun. That might actually kind of turn to work though, because I've been thinking about selling them at a shop.
Mm-hmm.
So if it does kind of change like that, then it would change the art form for me because it would be more about, making money and less about making, which is why I've been kind of hesitant about selling it at the shop in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, for school, I've just been creating projects. For school is probably the time I create the most projects because, you make new ones every 6 weeks, so you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So thank you for sharing. So I'm wondering, Juju, most humans think, let me do this and then I will do that. Like we've been taught, like,
Mm-hmm.
eat your food, then you eat your
Yeah,
cookie.
dessert.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like it's always
Eat your
like,
cookie.
you can tell Ada would be like, yeah, 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 give me that cookie. Um, and it seems like you just came in knowing like that your design was the innate design that we're all designed to live. So I'm wondering if
Mhm.
you have any like just like thoughts, affirmations, like how can you invite us to remember that we should be feeding that first, like
Mhm.
so everybody, Juju's also in the human design system, she's a projector. So every time I see her be invited to make or create something that she has already like intuitively been in tuned with wanting to make, but somebody
Mhm.
literally appears from like the ethers and goes, Juju, would you like to do this? And she comes to me and her light bulb again like turns on and she's so excited.
Mhm.
So like what do you have for us? Like what insights? Like
Mhm.
how can we be like Jew? I mean, in our own selves, like how can
Yeah, yeah,
we
of
be,
course.
yeah, but like
Mhm.
teach us, girl, teach us because you're a leader.
Um, I mean, I feel like just being connected with what you want truly, like what your soul wants, really helps. For
Mm,
example, a couple years ago, I was wanting to get a job more, and like a couple days later, someone asked me if I could babysit for their children.
mm,
So I
mm,
feel like just being in tune with what you want, and the same thing happened with the animation project. I had
mm,
been wanting to create YouTube like intros for myself, and I had tried it, and I don't know, it wasn't really working very well. And then like a couple weeks later, my aunt writes me and asks me to make it for her.
mm,
Um, so I feel like just being in tune with what you want, also, finding ways that you can tie what you really love with your work or with other responsibilities in your life is also a really great way to do it
mhm,
because it makes you feel more passionate about it in a sense. So if you've been wanting to create videos and your work needs someone to make videos for you, sign up to make the videos, or I don't know, it could be anything.
mhm,
Like find ways to creatively tie different sections of your life together. I
mm,
feel like that could really help.
mm,
Um, One example in my personal life is for my high school, we have to do a capstone project in order to graduate. And I've been really wanting to experiment more with like making videos and doing documentaries. And so when I was planning out my capstone project, I thought about kind of connecting the two, like making it into a documentary that also, has a different topic. So for my school, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. It totally
Hmm.
makes sense. So, everybody, reminder, take a moment right now to just be in tuned to like what you want, what is inspiring the little light bulb moment inside of you
Hmm.
to create, and just see if you can follow the breadcrumbs to create that today or tomorrow and put it in your schedule, and then rinse and
Hmm.
repeat to over and over and over again in different areas of your life, and how to integrate it and weave it in and out, one passion project with another. Does that sound right?
Yeah, and also, I was just thinking about what else to add, and I was thinking that a lot of people nowadays, especially with like social media, there's so many options presented in front of us of like ideas and things to make and things that we have to do. And so I think a really great place to start if you're feeling stuck with projects or you're feeling stuck with something is also just reflecting on what you would have wanted as a kid or what you would have wanted as a teenager. Like if you were really into art or animals, seeing how you can also have topics that you've loved for many years, and start there.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. I was getting scared. I was like, and I was getting scared and overwhelmed when you said that, where it was like the thought went to like, oh, is she going to say like, and you should just look up more ideas of how to create stuff on YouTube. But you
No.
you brought it inward to like, ooh, like
Hmm.
when you were little, instead of like looking outward to what other people are doing to give you inspiration, you literally brought us back into our inner child. Oh,
Hmm.
thank you, Juju. Thank you for being a spark of joy. Thank you for being a passionate, beautiful young woman. Thank you for being my amazing firstborn firecracker, kind, warm, loving, passionate, wise, creative daughter. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for all that
Thank you
you
for having
are.
me on your podcast.
Yes, and you'll be back
I
soon.
will be back
So
next week
much.
or in a
I
couple of
love
days.
you.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. Bye. Have a beautiful day, beautiful beloved one. Take the Juju medicine and anoint yourself with your own sacred soul medicine today. Bye for now.